Hello, Amy Elizabeth here, somatic and intuitive healer. And I don't know how this week has felt for you, but for me, it has certainly been easier than those first week of Mercury retrograde shadow plus Mercury retrograde. And now between the Venus-Uranus trine and the Medusa-Magdalene conjunction trine Ceres, and now today we are at the equinox. And so if you are in the northern hemisphere like myself, this is the autumnal equinox, and the days are getting steadily darker. And if you are in the southern hemisphere, this is the vernal or the spring equinox, where we are bringing more light into things. And so the equinoxes equal night, equal night, meaning that we have an equal amount of dark hours in a 24-hour period that we do light hours. And this is this balance point. And whether you're in the southern hemisphere or the northern hemisphere, we're moving into Libra season. Libra as a sign, I think, is oftentimes there's too much focus on the shadow aspect of it, which is being in balance, versus the light aspect, which is about seeking balance. Because as long as things are alive, they're moving and they're changing, they're growing and they're shifting. And so there's a seeking, there's a work that needs to go into that harmony. And now Libra season is ruled by Venus. So there is a desire for harmony. There is a desire for beauty. And I know here it is a gorgeous, gorgeous day outside. And I am looking forward to getting outside. I also recognized this morning really, really acutely, and it's something I've been aware of for years, and I've just kind of pushed through, and something broke inside me this morning that says I'm not going to do that anymore. I'm not going to push through. I will shift my schedule, and I will do the things I need to do to support myself more deeply. And maybe it's because I'm a middle-aged lady, but I was up this morning doing my workout, doing the things, and it was still dark. And the only place I really wanted to be was in bed asleep because it was dark. And in human history, we haven't had electricity that long. We haven't had the ability to create artificial light, which allows for artificial productivity. And that just really settled in my body this morning as I was up doing my workout in my artificial light, and how deeply inside of me that as the light shifted outside, my internal state shifted. So I just want to invite everybody to be really, really aware of how are you feeling with this shift? Where can you create more balance? And for me, I'm a rising Leo. My chart is ruled by the sun. As the sun recedes and descends into the southern sky here in fall and winter, I want to be internal. I want to be inside. And that is what creates more balance for me, is more sleep, more nourishing warm foods, more liquids, because we need to drink just as much, if not more, water in the winter here in places where we have forced air heating. It really dries out our bodies. And so just really bringing your awareness to where you can find more balance and more harmony, because that's going to actually bring more joy. So we're back to that Venus trine from the start of the week. We are still living in the energy of that. Now, what's going to happen? So the official start of fall is at 8:03 p.m. Central Time. So adjust for your time zone on the 22nd of September, 2022, because that is what the date is today. For those of you that are catching this later. And that is when the sun shifts and moves, egresses into Libra, and we begin autumn here in the northern hemisphere. We begin the season of looking for balance and harmony here in this first third of fall. Then, a little under 6 hours later, so at 1:50 a.m. on the 23rd, Mercury, who is retrograde, is going to Cazimi the sun and also shift out of Libra and back into Virgo. So the sun is on its way into Libra. Mercury is on its way out of Libra because it's retrograde. But they are going to have a moment when Mercury enters the heart of the sun. So the invitation for tonight is, before you go to sleep, or if you are a person who does 2 sleeps, at some point, ask and lean into your dreams being really, really clear. Have a journal nearby. Journal and write them down. They don't need to make sense. But know that the messages are going to be really clear. When Mercury goes Cazimi, this is his inferior conjunction. There is a space for a clarity of messages. The messenger of the gods, Mercury, is in the heart of the sun. And it can be an 8-hour, give or take, time period. So just opening yourself up to that gives you the space to receive something, and you can ask about a specific thing. That is, for me, if you know your chart, look at where your Virgo and your Libra are, and find the start of Libra, and note what houses they are. And if you know what the houses are, and you know what those houses mean, for me, my Libra is 3rd house, communication, and my Virgo is 2nd house, the things that I value. That gives me the space to recognize that I'm going to be potentially receiving messages around what I value and communication, because that's where this is taking place. It's taking place in this cusp where we can get messages from both of those areas of our lives. If you have questions about if you know your chart and you know what houses your Libra and your Virgo are in, but you don't necessarily know what they mean, drop a comment down below, and I can give you a short little couple words about what those houses are, so you can kind of know how to orientate yourself. You can know how to even orientate your question. It's a great practice to meditate before bed, to ask a question that has to do with that area of your life, and then go to sleep and see what comes to you in your dreams as Mercury moves into the heart of the sun on September 23rd at 1:50 a.m. Central Time. So adjust for your time zone, because if you are west of here at all, even Pacific time, it's going to be happening right at the end of the 22nd. So just something to keep in mind. This is a space of asking for clear messages. On the 24th, which is Saturday, our friend Venus, who is in Virgo and ruling this first section of this equinox period. We're still in the equinox energy here. So Venus is not necessarily in charge in Virgo. She's answering to Mercury, who will by the 24th be in his home sign of Mercury. And Neptune is in Pisces, and they're in an opposition. So they're standing opposite, and it's a tension of opposites, and it can be a pulling in of the energies, bringing the energies together, even though they don't want to come together, which can forge something fresh. Just keep in mind, with Venus and Virgo answering to Mercury, who is retrograde, and Neptune in Pisces, who is retrograde himself, there is a slowing down that is here. So really slowing down this weekend, listening for the messages, clarifying those messages so you're not jumping to conclusions, you're not working from any delusional space, you are eliminating confusion. Those are all Neptunian words, so that you can really protect any relationship pieces that may rise up this weekend, because Venus rules our relationships, and Venus in Virgo wants things, the I's dotted and the T's crossed. So just making sure that you're slowing down, which is what autumn asks for us to do here in the Northern Hemisphere. Anyways, I'm going to speak about fall from the perspective of being here. We're being asked to slow down. And with the retrogrades right now, we're being asked to slow down. And yes, things are going to be shifting in October, but right now here in September, slow it down, especially for this weekend. Slow it down, find some pleasure, find some enjoyment, and really lean in as we move towards this new moon in Libra, which happens on Sunday, and it will peak. We'll move into this new moon in Libra energy on Friday. And then the new moon in Libra is going to peak on Sunday, and we'll be in that energy until about Tuesday. The new moon in Libra happens at 2 degrees of Libra at 4:54 p.m. Central Time. So adjust for your time zones. And it's an equinox new moon. And that equinox new moon, there's so much call for nourishment, for working on our balance and our harmony. It's just so Venusian. What can you do to nourish and care for yourself? And know that we're headed into a new moon cycle. This moon also is opening the door to our autumnal eclipse season. We've got an eclipse at the end of October, and we've got an eclipse at the beginning of November. So we're entering that eclipse portal, so just be very aware of things that are maybe coming up that you thought were resolved. I know I am certainly doing some work right now on things that I thought I had resolved, and recognize it as an opportunity to move a layer deeper, to settle in, to see things from a different perspective. Breathe, slow down, drink a lot of water, eat nourishing foods. Know that there's a lot of support out there right now if you want it. I know I am taking clients. I know other people who are taking clients. So reach out and touch base. Leave your questions, your comments, dedications, requests down below in the comments. I love hearing from you and interacting with you. And I will see you again next week. Really love up on yourself this equinox new moon weekend.